Welcome back, everybody, to the Hat Trick Hockey Podcast. Today, we welcome a famed goaltender playing for the Wheatley Sharks. He has a record of 18-8-1, a save percentage of .929, and a goals against of 2.18. With goaltenders who have more than 25 games played in the league, he is first in save percentage. We welcome Wheatley's starting goaltender, Ethan Handley. Ethan, how are you?
Good. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
Fantastic.
Man, those are some gaudy numbers, dude. Sick.
Yeah. We're having a good season over there. And looks like we just clinched third, beating Blenheim the other day, which is good for us.
I seen that. How was that game the other night? Was you guys that one versus the threes here, man? That was a good fucking game to watch. Like just to sit back. Like I enjoyed watching that one. Like there's some nights it's boring, right? But there's because they're walking teams. But I mean, like you guys came in, man, and it was exciting.
Yeah. I think we actually outshot them that game, which is pretty crazy. And but yeah, I thought it was a great game. I mean, whenever you get a low scoring game like that, it's always going to be a good game. It's just like playoff. We're close to playoffs now, and that's the style of game that was. It was a playoff game.
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful.
100%. Yeah, I actually came into that game. I was telling my dad, I said, you know what? I was talking to Squid online, and I said, I want it to be a low scoring game because I don't want him to get like blown up coming on before the podcast. But I said I hope for it's like a 2-1 or a 1-0 like in a OT game or something like that. Yeah. And sure enough, it was a great game. And just talk about what you've had to do this year to maintain the success. Like, what do you attribute your success to? Is it a team play? Have you worked in the off season individually? Talk about that.
So yeah, a lot of it is the team and the coaches and the whole town of Wheatley. Honestly, everybody supports each other, and the support is phenomenal. And every game, like even if it's a good game I play or a bad game I play, the support's always there. And I owe it to my team and the coaches and everybody around me.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Dude, he always says, man, Tristan's always saying, he's like, dude, the atmosphere in Wheatley is electric. He's like, you have to go. I haven't made it out there yet. I want to, like, really bad, because he tells me all the time, like, dude, you have to go to a game in Wheatley. I'm like, I know, man, I want to so bad. But so like, first of all, what made you want to be a goalie, man?
Well, I was born in England, and I came over here when I was like 5, I want to say. So I didn't really know anything about hockey. And then we went to the arena down the road, and they're like, "Oh, put on these goalie pads." And I didn't know no different. And I put on the goalie pads, and I ended up liking it. So
man,
I just stuck with it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Especially because 5's kind of a late start too.
Yeah, I don't even think, because I moved here when I was 5. So I must have been like, I think I played 1 year of house league and then select 7.
Just everything right from there. Boom, travel the whole way up, eh?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, I mean, I just enjoyed it, and ever since then I liked it. And
love it.
That's awesome. So I know you played a bit with Sun County with some of my good buddies like Cody McKenzie and Dalton Van Laer. But I want to tell me your favorite AAA memory with Sun County or Windsor. Like, what was your best memory throughout your AAA tenure?
Probably my midget minor year. That was a good year when I was playing for Windsor. We had a good season that year. We made it to OHL Cup, and that was a phenomenal experience. The talent in that tournament is just crazy. So that's got to be my favorite year in AAA right there.
Yeah, man. AAA is like, even then, it's like super fast hockey. Everybody's super skilled. Obviously, you have to be to play there, right? So what led up to you hooking up with the Sharks? Like, how did all that work? Did you get an invite to camp? Did you like, how did everything come about?
Well, it was right after I played midget major in Windsor too. And then after my midget major year, the year kind of got cut short, and because of the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no camps that year or anything, and I actually AP'd for Lakeshore in my midget major year, and I was talking to their GM over there, and I said, "Do you have any plans or anything?" And then we just kind of stopped talking, I guess, and then
Mhm.
out of nowhere, the Wheatley GM texted me, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to sign in Wheatley?" And I was like, 100%. So
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I
wow.
don't know. It was just weird because there was no camps that year, no nothing. It was just kind of, if you found a team, then you were playing, and if not, you didn't really have a chance to show yourself at a camp or something like that.
Now, was that the year that just was just like written off pretty much? Like there was.
Yeah. So my first year with Wheatley, we didn't play at all that
Yeah.
year.
You want to know
Okay.
who I felt bad for was guys that year that are in their overage year. Like, right? Like
Oh, I know.
you don't get your overage year, man.
Yeah.
It's just poof, gone. Like you're done.
Yeah.
You're shipped off to the beer leagues. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? It sucks. Like I felt so bad for those guys, man.
Yeah. I thought there was talk that they were going to do something about that and maybe let them play again or something like
Yeah,
that.
for like 1 year or
I-
something.
yeah. But I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's too bad. But I bet Lakeshore right now is looking back and probably wishing they made a
Oh,
different decision, because that back-to-back would be a lot easier if they had you in net.
Yeah, well, they got two good goalies over there now. I know Romano and Nick Bolton, they're both good
Yeah.
goalies.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but they're not the Squid, right? So they're missing out in that respect. I want to ask you, being a goaltender, who do you pattern your game after? Is there someone in the NHL that you admired growing up, or maybe right now that you try and model your game after?
that guy right there, Marc-Andre Fleury,
Ah,
best goalie to ever play.
The
awesome.
Even though he
flat.
beat the Wings in, what was it, 09?
Yeah.
Still my favorite goalie.
Yeah, but he
Oh,
was like the highlight of the playoffs when he was
Yeah.
playing there in 09. He was like,
yep.
he was a wall.
2 seconds left on the clock. Nick
Lidstrom
had
had
a
a
wide
beautiful
open
one.
net. And
Yeah.
Fleury comes across.
Comes out of nowhere.
I know. I was watching that game too, man. I was so pissed because at first, like when a puck just like squirted out to him, I was like, and he was all by himself. I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, yes. Like we're going to overtime. And then no, he made an amazing save as usual. So last year I see you were you in a backup kind of role last year, and then this year you pretty much have transitioned into being the starter. Like, let's face it, numbers show it, right?
Yeah.
Or was
Well,
there any like injuries or anything? So I just want to know, like, what have you done from last year to this year to just take everything to the next level to where you can play as many games as you've played so far?
well, last year actually, it was a tough season for me because I started my apprenticeship,
Oh,
Okay.
and so I'm still going through that till this day. And um, my school nights were on our home game nights, and I kind
Mm,
of couldn't get out of it. And it's like, do I? So I ended up having to miss nearly every single home game because of school.
well, yeah, you
man,
gotta
that
get,
sucks.
yeah, you have to do it though, especially
Yeah,
if
I
you
got
got,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
take
that's
care of
my
life
career.
first and then worry about hockey, you know.
Yeah, unless I'm
Yeah.
going to the NHL, then I got to figure out something.
Well, that's very smart move.
They
Yeah.
they did have three very solid goalies last year, those,
Oh
right?
yeah.
You had 40, and then you had Carlone as well,
Yeah.
who's doing well
Yeah.
right now.
It's like the elite division he's
Oh,
playing.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah. So that's
he's doing
junior
really
A.
good. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I always see posts on his goaltending. He's got a page there, but
Yeah.
so last year I want to talk about I went to all the Wheatley playoff games last year
Okay.
because it's not a far ride away from I'm in Essex, so it's
Oh
worth the
yeah.
ride in my opinion.
Yep.
And I went out there and just talk about, you had two shutouts in those playoff series, and you embraced that role as you became that number one guy, right?
Yeah.
You were in there, and talk about that second series with Lakeshore and how you almost stole it from them.
So yeah, that was obviously Lakeshore. They had a phenomenal team last year. like I think they only lost like what was it, 1-2 regular season games. So obviously going into that, we were, you know, the underdog, just like even against Amherstburg. We didn't beat Amherstburg all regular season. Then we ended up sweeping them in the playoffs. So anything can happen in the playoffs. And so we went up against Lakeshore, and obviously, you know, tough team over there. They always have a good team. And we got down early, but they were always close games. So we got a couple games behind. And then the team just stepped it up another notch, and I thought we were going to come all the way back and reverse sweep them, but I think that last game in Wheatley, we lost 5-0, and I think we just ran out of gas there. I know I was pretty tired after that one, because I feel like the playoffs last year were so compact and there was so many games, and like I think we had like it was like 3-4 games a week we were playing.
Yeah.
And it does take a toll on you when you put practices and work and all that in there too. It's really tough on the body, and I know I was really feeling it that last game, and it sucks that we couldn't get a better result and force a game 7.
Yeah,
But overall,
that
very
was
good
too. Sorry, go
series.
ahead.
No, I was gonna say you guys play every other night when you're in like playoffs, right? Is
I
that
think
how they try to do it? Is it every 2 nights?
I think it was every other night.
I thought it was last year. It was like every other night.
Yeah,
Because
it
if it
was.
is, man, that is tough, especially being the goalie.
Yeah, yeah, and it was
I couldn't do
especially
it.
that last game when you get all this hype, and you start getting the confidence behind you, and then you feel like you're going to do it, and you're going to do it, and you go out there, and it just takes a toll on you, and all the ups and downs of the playoffs and all that just does take a toll.
For sure.
Yeah, I just remember last year, there was a couple games. I lied when I said I went and saw all the games. I saw most of you guys' games, but I remember there was one where Essex was in the second round, and I was watching the Essex game, and I kept refreshing, and all the fans around me from Essex was like, "Wheatley, please beat Lakeshore. Wheatley, please beat Lakeshore." I'm like, "Oh, Hanley's in net. Look out! They're making the comeback all the way, man." I'm just so happy for you guys, especially this year too. Like, you're doing so well, and just talk about what you guys are gonna do to have to win these playoffs. Like, you're gonna have to be facing, like, likely you're locked in at the 3 seed, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna be facing semis if they make it on. It will be Lakeshore. So talk about what you have to do to get some revenge there to push past.
Oh yeah, obviously Amherstburg, they kind of came alive the end of the season here again, so it's looking like we're going to have the same sort of run as last year. And so obviously we can't look past Amherstburg. They got a good team over there. They're playing good. But I think we can, if we play like we can play, we'll take it to them. And then against Lakeshore, I mean, the regular season series right now, I think we've won 3, tied 1, and lost 1.
Oh wow.
So I mean, but playoffs is a different game, and
Yep.
so, but I think we just gotta keep playing as a team. Everybody's got to be committed. I gotta play some good hockey again, and hopefully we can do it.
What I like about frickin' you guys, man, and I've said it before on the show, is just how you guys wear teams down. You dump pucks in deep. Everybody finishes their hits. Everybody's hard, like going hard all the time. Like, that is the type of stuff, like, Josh has you guys dialed in. So can you kind of speak on, Josh and Goose and guys like that? Like, you guys, your coaching staff is amazing. Like, seriously, I love those guys.
Oh, they're all great guys. I mean, they have a system where if we play to that system and follow it, there's not I don't think there's a team that can play with us and wants to get. You notice it, like when we were playing Blenheim a couple nights ago, get pucks in deep, go bang bodies, and by like the third period, they're the defense don't even want to go in the corners anymore because they're afraid they're going to get blown up.
That's how I love it, man. That's how I like to
Yeah,
play the game. That's
it's
how I like
just
to see it played. It's exciting.
yeah. And Goose is a very old school coach, and if you're not hitting guys or playing the body, he does get a little angry at the defensemen there when they don't play the body. But it's the style of hockey that does work and wear teams down, especially when you in the playoffs when you have all those games in a short amount of time. If you can wear the other team down, you're by like the last games, they're gonna be tired and scared of you.
That like game against Essex there was some big hits in that game, man. Like from both sides. Like I was like, oh, this is a game that I wouldn't want to be in. And these guys are like, it seems like the puck would go over there, bam, hit. It would go over there, bam, hit. It was just everywhere. Everybody was just running around trying to rip each other's head off. It was kind of good.
No one was safe.
That's the way I like it.
But talking about that Blenheim game, which Essex, they've dropped their last 2 against Blenheim. You guys, another edgy win, 2-1. When you see scores like that, you place it on the back of the goaltender. Talk about, you mentioned you guys had to stave off some pretty heavy PIMs in that game. Talk about, you had a 9-minute penalty kill, you said?
Yeah, so right at the start of the period, obviously one of our players, St. Pierre, he wanted to go with the guy, and the guy kind of turtled and no, I don't want it, or whatever. But Saint's already by that point dropped the gloves, and he just kind of got onto the guy and started punching him. And obviously it was a little, if I was the other guy, like you at that point, if someone's coming at you with their gloves off, like you got to go him. Like you can't, don't shy away. Like it's just, it's not a rule, but it should be a rule.
It's unwritten.
Have to go.
Exactly.
But, and yeah, he ended up getting an instigating, something else, and then a 5-minute for fighting and a game suspension, I think he got.
Woof.
So right at the start of the third, we were up 2-0 going into the third. And so right off the bat, they get a 9-minute power play. And then during that power play, we got another tripping call.
Oh,
so it was a 5-on-3 for a little bit there, and we managed to kill off the 5-on-3. And then they still had like, I want to say like 3 minutes left in the 9-minute penalty. So they ended up getting one back in that period. So and then it just sent it down to 2 minutes. And then so they still had a power play going. And then we managed to kill that one off too. And then right at the end of the game, there was like a 1:30 left, and we got a 5-minute penalty.
Oh,
it was a scrum behind the net. I didn't see what happened because it's behind me. And all of a sudden the guy thrown out, and 5 minutes on the clock, and I was like, well, time to kill off another 5 minutes.
Oh my God. You'd be like, boys,
holy smokes.
Boys, we're getting a little too horny here. Let's calm down here and stay out of the penalty box, boys.
So you were talking about scrums behind the net and stuff like that. I wanted to ask you, I want to say it was a couple months ago, maybe 3 now. I'm trying to think of when the game was, but Wheatley was in Essex, and whatever, there's a scrum, and Luke Shirk comes in, gives you a little extra tap, Carve takes him to the corner. Refs kind of break it up, and then Shirky, during the pause and play, goes over and takes your water bottle and has a sip of it. Talk about what's going through your head when you see that.
I remember that, yes.
Fucking Shirky.
Yesterday. Yeah, that kid he can get under your skin, and he's a good player. And but the first thing I thought of was just blockering him in the head. That's the first thing I thought about. But obviously I'm not going to do that, and I was kind of joking around about it, but I don't think that was a very sportsmanship play from Shirky, in my opinion. I wouldn't go up and drink somebody else's water bottle just because it's not kind of on the other team. Yeah. And I don't know if you got, especially with the COVID and stuff these days.
Yeah.
It's just not I didn't really agree with that. But hey, if whatever it takes to get in somebody else's head, like look at Brad Marchand licking a guy. Like
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
Shirky
It's
probably wanted you to hit him though. That's the
yeah,
style. That's the
yeah.
style he
That's
plays.
probably
in.
why he did it.
Go ahead, hit me. I'll take a penalty. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
We'll go on the power play, but that's probably what he was trying to get you to do. Knowing
yeah.
him, Shirky's playing the game within the game. That's what he's doing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I
He's
could
good at
just
that
see
too.
I could just see Ethan going at him. Like I forget who it was, but Price took it to somebody one time. Someone skated through his crease and he just got his blocker and gave him about 10 shots right in the ribs. But yeah, so I'm curious. What do you think the outlook of this team is? I know the season's still going on, but next year, because you still got 2 years left with the club, right?
Yeah, yeah. So 2 years
So
after this.
where do you see the future is, and just speak on how you feel the GM has been with your team and how you think your guys are going to do going forward with the young core.
Yeah, so yeah, as you said, we do have a lot of young players who, and I'm hoping a lot of them will stick around. But I know obviously it's Carv's last year, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a great captain. That's going to be a huge loss for us. But we're gonna have other guys stepping up into that role, like always. And
Mm-hmm.
I think we should have a solid team going forward now. We've kind of established the Wheatleys on the map now,
Mm-hmm.
and that brings in obviously players going to come to our camp before other people's maybe, and it just it shows that if you have a good season like we did last year, winning that playoff series and then
Yep.
having a good series against Lakeshore, people will come out and you will get some of the younger talent from like midget minor and stuff like that. And,
Oh, you guys are on the map now, man. Like you guys
oh
have
yeah,
definitely like started putting everything together, right? Like you guys from I've been watching junior C hockey now, like pretty much since we started doing this show. So it's been a couple of years now, 2.5 years. And at the start, like when I seen you guys and everything, to be honest with you, I wasn't very impressed a few like years back when I had first seen you guys, but now like I watch you guys play and I just think like what a turnaround. And to think about like one of the other parts that's nuts is when you actually think about how quick that turnaround actually was in the team because
Mm-hmm.
we lost a year for freaking COVID. Well, we lost pretty much a year and a half due
Right.
to COVID, but man, you
Yeah.
guys put everything together so quick, and being so young right now, like you guys in a year or two is going to be like, you guys are going to be scary, man. Very scary. It's going to be nice.
Hopefully. Yeah, I know a couple guys are looking at, obviously they're trying to move up and stuff like that,
Mhm.
but the majority I think should stick around and
Mm-hmm.
play a couple more seasons at least, and we'll have a good, seems like we're gonna have a good team for a couple years coming at
Mhm.
least.
That's a good thing.
Yep, 100%. And speaking of age, as Ant would say, of being young, happy belated birthday, Mister. I think it was a week ago today. It was your 20th, right?
I think so. What is today? 17th?
It's
Yeah, a week ago
yeah.
today.
Oh shit.
We could go yesterday.
Okay. There
20
you
years
go.
old. I don't even remember my 20th. It's been that long.
Neither do I, Ant. That's because I'm
Yeah,
not 20 yet.
because you
So
haven't experienced your
mine's
20th
coming
yet.
up in the summertime. But anyway, I wanted to ask Squid, hardest shot you've had to face.
I was gonna
Oh,
ask that too.
I got a story behind it too.
Awesome.
Obviously I got a couple honorable mentions. The We played against that when I was in OHL Cup, I played against that Don Mills team
Oh,
Okay.
with
Don
Shane
Mills
Wright.
Flyers.
oh man.
Oh yeah, so they had obviously like the best hockey team I've ever played against. They had the Shane Wright, the two Christopoulos twins,
Yep.
all those guys, and so obviously all those guys they can shoot the puck. But I tell you what, Tate Bowen,
Oh.
Blenheim. Oh, I remember we were playing. It's got to be a month or two ago now, and it was in our barn. He shot the puck, and he hit me square in the shoulder, and the play continued obviously, and my shoulder, I could not move my arm. I could not. So I'm sitting there trying to skate around for all the play for like a minute, and finally got feeling back in my arm, and
My God.
luckily no one shot to that arm in that time period. But yeah, it was that kid can shoot the puck.
He is one big boy.
Oh, yeah.
Their whole top line is huge now because they got Darby Lemieux from Junior B.
Yeah.
Which one's he?
I don't even know what number he wears now. He played Leamington last year, I think.
17 or 16.
Okay. Who's the
19
guy
is Tate.
on Blenheim? The guy, he's like, I think he wears like 34. He's like,
he scored.
Yeah.
He scored against you guys, right?
Nail gun that guy is. My God. He was skating around the ice hitting people. His hits were thunderous. Like, I was like, whoa. But man, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did score that night too.
Now, who's got the best shot on your team, in your opinion?
Ooh.
Cat can shoot the puck and he's accurate, but obviously Blake McNally, he can rip the puck too. It's always not the most accurate but if he gets it in the right spot, 9 times out of 10 it's going in.
So when he shoots, safest spot is standing out front of the net, so you're okay. Right?
Pardon me?
I said, so the safest spot when he's shooting is standing right out front of the net, right?
No.
Yeah, because it's
there you go.
Speaking of shooting, how good are you at shooting the puck? You ever been like, has it ever ran through your head to shoot for a goal when you see an empty net down there?
It hasn't. No, not during the game. I've thought about it, obviously, like before, like, oh, if I get an opportunity, I'm gonna take it. But it's never in a game situation. That's never what I'm thinking. I'm always thinking, because usually if they pull the goalie, we got the lead. So obviously the main concern is to hold that lead and win the game. But maybe if we're up by a couple, 2 or 3,
if you're up 2, let it rip, buddy.
Yeah, and if I get the opportunity, oh yeah, I actually did score when I played for Sun County. I technically scored a goal, but I deflected in the corner. One of their players grabbed it, tried to pass it back to the D, and it went in their own net.
Oh, hey, on
a delayed penalty.
That's a goal.
Yeah.
Guys in the NHL, that's a goal.
It was with the empty net. Okay, yeah. Because I've seen that happen with the empty net where last guy touches the puck, they'll call it. That's awesome. I didn't know that. Now we're talking. I mentioned your nickname a couple times, Squid. Talk about who gave you the nickname or how'd you get it?
Oh, long time. It was my dad. I don't fully remember the story, but I know I was super young and I said something like, I think you ever watch Ice Age? The Sloth?
Yeah.
I think, and he says, just call me Sid.
Yeah.
And when we were younger, I said, instead of Sid, I said, just call me Squid. And then ever since then, it just stuck. So it was a super long time ago, and it was actually my dad.
That's awesome.
That is funny, man. Hey, if you played any spot on the ice but net, which one would it be? Would you play D, wing, center?
I don't know. Never thought about that. I'd probably be a defenseman.
Just let everybody come to you so you can hit everybody.
I feel like I would be like an offensive-minded defenseman, but yeah, I feel like defense, you can see the whole game, just like a goalie. You can see everything that's going on, and I feel like I like that about hockey. You can kind of read the plays and everything like that. Instead of being all up in the action, you can kind of sit at the blue line and read the play.
Yeah, don't play center, man. You skate way too much.
Oh man, yeah. And I can picture this guy playing defense. He's back checking. All of a sudden, he drops in the butterfly.
Yeah, leads the team in block shots.
Starts blocking shots. Just a no gear on. But I also wanted to ask you, talk about yourself a bit. Like, what do you feel as a goaltender is your greatest asset? Your glove hand, your blocker, your side to side, like positioning. Because I know, like you said, you're not the largest goalie. Some goalies are giant; they can cover the post. But what do you do to maintain stats? Like, what's your best asset?
I think I got a pretty good glove. And obviously I can I'm pretty quick when it comes to. I did a lot of goalie camps, and I had a really great goalie coach when I was younger. And skating is the most important thing when you're a goalie. If you can move around the crease, and that's the most important thing. And whenever you can get set and ready for a shot before, instead of coming out and you're still moving and the shot's coming quick out, and you have a obviously like a 75% better chance of saving the puck when you're there and set and ready,
Right.
I suppose, of moving and still. So obviously I think my best attribute is my quickness.
It's awesome.
Man, did you see some of the saves this guy makes?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. That's why I asked him. I just watched like the other night. I wanted to ask what happened with Bugsy's goal. Carson, I was watching it. Did it slip under your pad or up above your shoulder?
I tell you what, I saw him after the game, and I was gonna say something about it. I'd give him 100 more of those shots, and I don't think he puts one as good as he did. Because what happened was there was obviously a pass cross crease, and I got over there and blockered it, but it went right on his stick, and I didn't have enough time to then get back to my post fully. Stuck it right over my shoulder. Freaking, I think it went bar down and in, and yeah, it was a phenomenal shot.
Yeah, he ripped it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, right. I thought, because I was there, and I thought I was gonna have it, and it just right over my shoulder.
But if you're gonna have one of those go in, at least it was like a rocket, nice shot, not like a little flubber. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. I'd rather get scored on something that everybody in the stands goes, "Whoa!" than than everybody going, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, here's one for all the goaltenders that we've interviewed. I haven't really asked this question. I want to ask you, what's, in your opinion, your most clutch save you've ever made, or maybe the biggest save or a favorite save?
That's tough. Oh. Obviously, I feel like I've made some pretty nice saves in my but I gotta go. I can't remember the exact play that happened, but when I got that shutout last year in the win against Lakeshore, I made a really nice save at the end there to close out the shutout and get our second win in that series on the board.
Yep.
So it's got to be that, and that was my favorite year of hockey. I would say this year is probably my favorite year of hockey, and last year, like just playing for Wheatley, I just love it. Love it there. The community is great. Coaches are great. So obviously all my favorite moments have came from the past couple of years. So that's got to be my favorite save last year, to secure the shutout against Lakeshore. And
Good for you, man.
Playoff win.
Yeah.
Hey, who's that guy in the room you got to watch him when he's in the room? The prankster. Who is it? Call him out.
It's got to be Grazer.
Yeah. What does he do? Has he done anything slick this year or what?
So I have school on practice nights, but apparently he put a cup of water under somebody's helmet. They go to take it off their stall and soaked in water.
Oh, that's great. That's good stuff. That's a funny one.
So,
I love it.
Yeah, he's a good kid. He's funny.
Braden?
Yeah, Braden Gray.
Yeah, okay. I just want to make sure. But last thing I want to ask you about yourself, because obviously hockey, as much as we are a hockey podcast, it isn't everything in your life. Talk about what you do. Like you said, you're in an apprenticeship. Talk about that a bit.
Yeah, so I started my co-op when I was in grade 12. I got with a company called Systec Automated Controls, and we do presses, so like car parts and stuff like that. So I do all the electrical for those.
Awesome.
And last summer I was in Mississippi for quite a while working down there, and it's fun. I love what I'm doing right now. And I don't know if I like to travel that much. You do get kind of homesick sometimes, but the work's fun, and it's very interesting to me, the how everything works. And obviously the automotive industry is never going to fail you, and glad that I got in the automotive industry, not only the electrical industry.
100%. Good for you, man. He's a
Smart
sharp
move
ticket,
going
eh?
the electric way too.
Oh,
Pardon me?
Smart move going the electric way too. Very smart
Oh
move.
yeah, well, you're always gonna need it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, I'm gonna ask you, do you have a lady in your life? Do you have a girlfriend?
I do have a girlfriend, yeah.
Oh yeah, how long?
um a year and a half,
Yeah, so you're a bit, yeah.
almost 2 years.
So she's probably at all the games, right? Home games and stuff like that, watching you
Oh,
play.
always, yeah.
It's got to
Oh
fire
yeah.
you up, just having her in the stands, and you always want to play good, obviously, right? But
Yeah.
got to look like a stud, right?
Yeah. And if I do have a bad game, she's the first person to fire me up and tell me I had a good game, even though deep down I know I didn't. But
Yeah.
she's
Like,
always there, and she's
honey,
always
we lost
supporting.
5-0. Oh no, you played great. One of those, right? Keep her, buddy. Keep her. I'm telling you, those are the ones you want, buddy.
Oh yeah.
good
Yeah.
for you.
man. Yeah, good for you,
Yep.
bro, for sure. I'm tapped out, so
Yep. I'm tapped as well. So, Mr. Handley, Squid, Ethan, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for coming on. We've had good conversations back and forth, and I hope to from this day on, because you're a small fella and a even better hockey player, or probably, who knows? It's up for debate. You're good at everything you do, right? But hope to see you in the future. Like we said, like Ant's shirt says, we're gonna be cheering you on. I love going to Wheatley games any chance I get, and I'll be for sure coming out next week. You guys still play Wednesday, right?
Yeah, we got Dresden on Wednesday.
Oh, perfect. So that should be a. Well, I'm not gonna say that. But
Yeah.
I'll come watch that game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be there Wednesday. I got that. I don't play usually Drysdale, our other goalie.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
goalie.
Okay, that's
Usually he takes care of those teams for us. And
yeah. I got you. Yeah,
yeah.
That's why you play almost 30 games, but. Yeah, I know. Like, dude, you're tied for second in the league, by the way, for most games played by a goalie.
Oh,
So
really?
hats off to you.
I haven't really looked into that, but
hats
yeah.
off on
A
staying
true
healthy.
starter. A true starter. This guy, listen, he's trusted in net, and they're gonna keep trusting you, man. Keep up the great work.
Yeah,
Thank you. I
man.
appreciate it.
Good luck the whole rest of the way, playoff run, everything. We're obviously going to be watching, right? Just so you know, too, anybody with the name Ethan is an instant legend in my mind, because my son's name is also Ethan. So you're in, bro.
Sweet.
So, like I said, good luck, and thanks again, buddy.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Squid.
I've lost my